In an absolutely unhinged message to his followers, Donald Trump promised that if elected in 2024, he would, and I quote him, root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and radical left thugs, calling them vermin. And I think it's important that you focus on this word, where Trump calls his perceived political enemies vermin. When I was studying crimes against humanity within the larger scope of theory of criminology, one of the things we analyzed was the process that brings an entire population to allow its government or to directly engage in human rights violations. And one of the key elements in that process is the dehumanization of the enemy. It is a linchpin in the path towards genocide. The process is almost always the same. First, the authority in power will convince its society that there is a common enemy, a common threat. But it's not a single specific people, it's a group of people with traits in common, be it creed, religion, color of the skin, or political belief. Next, the authority in power will convince its society that the simple fact of existing by this common enemy represents for the society an existential threat. And lastly, the authority in power will use public speech to dehumanize the common enemy in the eyes of society, because that way it's a lot easier to justify its elimination. We have seen this process repeat itself countless times in history. In the 1930s in Germany, Jewish citizens were depicted like this. In the 1990s in Rwanda, Hutu leadership referred to its enemies as cockroaches. And in Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge referred to their enemies as Dankao, which means worms. Why? Because it's easier to justify crimes when you become hardwired to believe that the people before you are less than human. And this is why this statement by Donald Trump isn't just reproachable and ignorant, but it's also ominous and downright dangerous. The fact that the frontrunner for the GOP presidential ticket and the likely nominee for the party is publishing words like this should concern everyone. Every single voter in America should take note of this and start to think whether we want to take the same chances that German voters took in 1934, Italians in 1922, and the Cambodian people did in 1975.